With the largest news in wrestling history being just dropped on everybody yesterday, and yeah, this is very early in the morning the following day, I honestly was gonna go to bed, not think about nothing else, but you know what? Brock Lesnar walked out of Smackdown. When I heard this when I heard this later on that same day, that evening, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to hold off until more news comes out and maybe they'll explain what really happened, if he came back or whatnot. According to Forbes magazine by, I think, Alfred Konuwa, and I will put the article in the description box below, he actually returned to beat up Austin Theory. So he did come back to SmackDown. But there's probably even more negotiations on trying to keep Brock Lesnar, because whether you believe it or not, Brock Lesnar is a huge name. But there's also an interesting part of Alfred Konuwa's article. The fact that he's getting way different treatment from the same company than Sasha Banks and Naomi. Sasha Banks and Naomi were vilified by their own company and pretty much downgraded and insulted. You can probably say it's about maybe they were trying to kill their careers. On the air. It's not even by the fans. It's on the air. They tried to destroy them on the air, which is sad. Brock Lesnar, who did the exact same thing and actually is known for holding this company up for money, and he usually gets what he wants because he's a big name, walked out. And even though he came back, the fact is they didn't mention it on the show according to the article. Now, I didn't watch SmackDown all the way through because, well, I don't have cable at the moment. So I didn't really watch the entire thing all the way through. But after hearing that, this was something I kind of assumed was going to happen. The fact that Brock Lesnar was able to walk out unscathed, nobody talking anything about him, but vilified Sasha and Naomi. But I know a lot of people are like, look at Brock. Brock can probably eat an entire person. Yeah, Brock is a very big guy, incredibly intimidating. But he should be put on the same pedestal as everybody else if you are a company. That's just me. Sasha Banks and Naomi were practically downgraded to villains. In this entire case, they were. And the sad thing is, Sasha Banks, I hate to say it, but Sasha Banks has a lot more worth than Naomi when it comes to the women's division. Naomi's been ignored for way too long, but unfortunately, she allowed to be ignored for way too long. And Sasha Banks wouldn't be ignored for way too long. And it was a united front for both of them to walk out. But they're going to lose a really big person in Sasha because Sasha's a bigger name. But I don't see them trying to get Naomi back. And the fact that they insulted them on the air and allowed the commentators to talk about them on the air and mention the event over and over again to punish them, it is dirty. It's incredibly dirty. And I wouldn't be shocked if this is all a buzz on Black Twitter. And yeah, the big R word pops up. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Racism. Well, it's probably more like discrimination, prejudice, and racism. Yeah, I'll put that up there. That I wouldn't be surprised if those three words have popped up in Black Twitter. But in this case with Brock Lesnar, yeah, he should be on the same. Playing field and be treated the same way as Sasha and Naomi walking out. But they're not gonna do that. They're going to try to keep Brock there because Brock got everything he wanted when Vince was working there. When Vince was the CEO and he was in charge, he got everything he ever wanted out of the man. Now he's gone, you know he's going to dip. This is going to probably be his last time. At SummerSlam, I wouldn't be shocked if it's going to be his last time. And then he'll be done. We're probably not going to see Brock ever again. I would not be shocked if that happens. But is it fair for them treating Naomi and Sasha as villains and not doing the same thing to Brock? Oh yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair. But they consider him a bigger name, a bigger draw, and get more money out of him. Unfortunately, that's the dark side of the business. You're going to be discriminated against. You're going to be left behind at times. It all depends on your worth. And they think that Brock Lesnar is worth more than Sasha Banks and Naomi. That's just my opinion on that. Especially how they treated them live on air. How they handled the entire thing. In my opinion, they didn't handle it well. But that's just business, I guess. But anyway, guys, I really want to hear your thoughts about this. Do you think that it's fair, the fact that Brock Lesnar was treated in a different way than Sasha Banks and Naomi, that he wasn't vilified for what he did, let alone not being mentioned on the air? Or do you think that, well, Sasha's known for doing this? Don't forget, Brock is too. Brock is too. He was known for doing the exact same thing, but he wasn't vilified. Not at all. But if he was, I stand corrected. If anybody remembers the time when Brock Lesnar was holding up the show, was he vilified as a true villain of the entire company and pretty much being humiliated right and left by commentary? Were they trying to destroy his career? If they did, maybe I forgot. I don't know. I want to hear what y'all think about this. Leave your comments below. Let me know how you feel, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.